And Sue, just say a few words about why it's so exciting to welcome Ms. Jen Hoy this morning.
Well, Jen has been part of our family for quite a while, and she's participated in the services, helping us do readings and stuff like that. And so I feel like she's already one of us, so
yes.
Now it's going to be official.
It's going to be official, that's right. So Jen Hoy, it is my pleasure to give you this nice handy-dandy membership certificate and to say on behalf of all the members of NCC, both present and not, that we are so glad to have you as part of this family today and for the days to come. I want to ask you a question. Will you accept our invitation and this gift to be a part of our family of love?
Absolutely.
Will you add your name to the great chorus of witnesses and voices that have made this neighborhood church what it was, what it is, and what it will be?
Absolutely, yes.
And like our Jesus and all the great spiritual teachers that we love, will you engage with us as we seek to create a community and a world that is dedicated to love and justice?
To the end of time.
Awesome. And for all the folks here gathered in our room, members present and not, will you agree to offer your warmth and your comfort and your love to Jen as she continues her journey with us? Will you add your strengths? Will you add your talents? Will you add your smiles, your triumphs, your struggles, your heart, and your fun to her life as she grows and changes with us? If we all agree, let us all say, we will.
We will.
And then let us all together say one more time one of our favorite affirmations here at Neighborhood Church. Repeat these words after me, y'all. Whoever you are.
Whoever you are.
No matter who you are.
No matter who you are.
Or where you are.
Or where you are.
On life's journey.
On life's journey.
You are welcome here.
You are welcome here.
Let's have a hand for Jen Hoy, everybody. We are so glad you're feeling better and that you're joining in. Thank you, and thank you so much. Yep. Hey, Mike, let's do a reading in honor of Earth Day. Can we do that? While Mike comes, I just want to thank all of our new members. We've inducted a few folks in the past few weeks, and I'm so thankful for that. Several of our folks couldn't be here today because they're traveling and got all kinds of things happening, but I am grateful that we are here and that we are together and we are moving forward. I'm so excited to get this housing project done so that we can move to the next level of our vision, our story for our spiritual center. And I'm so glad I get to do that with you. Mike, let's do a reading.
All right. Thank you, Pastor Rod.
Okay, thank you, brother.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming, and thank you all, and welcome to you new people, all the new people that are coming today.
And quickly, let's all say a prayer for our Sally. She cannot be here today because she's traveling, so she says hello. And while she's not here to read, and while she's away, she is with us here in spirit as Mike reads.
Yes, because she was going to read this with me.
Yes, she's away.
And so she's away today. Reflections on the earth. As we are called to see ourselves and each other as Mother Earth beloveds, holding mystery's presence and bringing mystery gifts to the world, so too, this very world and all that is above, around, and within it are beloveds, just as easily shattered, just as much in need of our loving attentiveness and support. May our hands align with love's hands in caressing and shaping all created things. For trees, plants, crops, and forests. For water, oceans, rivers, streams, and ponds. For air, wind, climate, and weather. For sun, clean energy, and prevention of global warming. For animals, especially endangered species. For all humankind. For recycling and moderate personal consumption. For proper use of chemicals and disposal of toxic waste, for earth and unity. Let us lift in our hearts in hope and love. Spirit mystery, we thank you for all of existence and ask your forgiveness where we have failed to be just stewards. And now we ask for your guidance in restoring the face of the earth. May we learn to live in harmony, safety, and a just sharing of resources among all, that we achieve a world of love. Peace be to this community. Peace be to this land. Peace be to all people. May it be so.
Thank you, Mike. Gonna sing one of my favorites and hopefully one of yours. I see trees of red roses too, for me and for you. I see skies of blue, bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, yes, I think to myself, oh yeah.
All right. I'm going to ask you to stand as you are able. Just take a quick stand. I want you to take a big old deep breath in with me. And then out. And then in again. And then out. And now I'm just going to spin our prayer wheel for all the parts of our world that are at war and in pain and in struggle. Let's keep breathing, a moment of silence for ourselves in this whole wide world. Roxanna was playing What a Wonderful World, and to be able to have that expanse and that gift of love in our heart. But we're also reminded that there are parts of this world that need our energy, that need our flow. So let's manifest. Let's send out that gleam of spirit and energy out into the universe. Breathing in and out. For it is a wonderful world that needs our love. Breathing in and out. And let's just stand in silence for just a few seconds. Let's be together. Okay. And as you are able, you can begin to sit as you are able. Thank you. I'm grateful that this morning we get to be reminded of the importance and the power of a precious gift, receiving the gift. And I know that on this Earth Day, it is customary to be mindful and grateful for this wonderful present, this awesome expanse, the universe itself, and then our tiny little part of it, that being the earth, Mother Earth, abundant earth, Mother Spirit. To have this gift that has been placed into our hands, whether we asked for it or desired it or not, it just is. It's here. It's evident as we breathe, as we stand in silence, as we celebrate the beauty of this day, as we manifest loving energy for Iran and Gaza and Israel and America and Latin America, all the warring parts of our world, the parts that are at peace, even our own very hearts, the struggles we have. We can do two things at once. We can manifest that wisdom and that joy and that grace, and we can also send out that comfort and that strength and that hope that we all need to get through the craziness of these times. I've come to the point in my own faith journey where I'm now more clear in my mind than ever that to do this thing we call love, we got to be a both and kind of people. We got to be able to do two things at once. Manifest our love and send out our hope. And to let that abundant joy govern our days. So, this idea of receiving a gift, in our media, the consumption culture in which we live, the social media that we read and we sing about, that we learn about, that we regurgitate, that we take into ourselves over and over and over again, if we do that too much, if we do it too openly, we begin, in my view, to take on a kind of passive view of this great gift. It's easy to get so wrapped up in all the things we can't control, all the things that are so hard and so heavy and so wrong with our world, that if we focus on it so deeply, it's easy to get swallowed up, to get nestled in this kind of passive living, to just take things as they come. But again, this journey that we're on, this journey that we're living, we're able to do two things at once. To see all that is happening around us and to ask ourselves, what can we do? What little thing can we give? What powerful gift can we receive? And then what's the meaning behind that? When I was in Carefree, Arizona about a month ago, being with my friends, my pastor friends, as we were saying goodbye to that chapter of our lives as one cohort, we gave each other some gifts. And I'm wearing my gift. On one side, there are arrows of love and arrows of peace, and there are rainbows that make my heart sing. There's another side of it that has this incredible collection of hearts and words about the power of love and spirit. And this gift that I was given by my colleagues, and then thinking about the earth that also is gift given to us, it set me off on this journey of wonderment about what does it truly mean to receive a gift. My friends gave me this, but why? And what's the meaning behind it? What does it truly mean to receive? I want to show you this quote from Thestus. Who would reject the flood of fortune's gifts? Anyone who has experienced how easily they flow back. Who would reject the flood of fortune's gifts? Anyone who has experienced how easily they flow back. Anyone who gives a gift to someone free of charge, they are doing the right thing if the person they're giving the gift to understands that. If someone is giving a gift free of charge, they are doing well if the person receives understands. Thank you, Eli. And so it begs the question, what kinds of gifts are we receiving? And what meanings are we attaching to them? Now, let's be clear. There are all kinds of gifts that are self-evident in our culture. There are some gifts that carry obligations, right? I give you something, and there's a favor in return that you have to give me. And you don't have to look too far to see how this operates in our culture. All you have to do is turn on your news and your press and see how politicians of all stripes in all parties are bought by money and are expected to give favors in return. You want to know why things are so effed up in our culture? Follow the money. So that's one example. That's one example. Obligations. I give you something, you give me something. I can take every example of what's wrong in our culture right now, both foreign and domestic, and tie it back to money. That's one example of a gift that carries obligations, Robbie. But then there are other types. There are other gifts that make us relatively weak. I mean, if someone gives me everything I absolutely want or need or desire, all I have to do is ask for it, and they give it to me. Now, I have to imagine that at some point, when I leave that bubble, when I leave that house, when I leave that friendship, when I leave that union, when I leave that place, I gotta believe that somehow, probably, I'm gonna have a hard time in life because everything was so easy. That's another kind of gift, the gifts that make us weak. And then there's another one. It's the kind of gift that we don't even really need. It's overkill. It clutters our life. And it becomes one more piece of junk that we didn't ask for. That's another kind of gift. What I'm trying to help you understand is there are levels to this thing. That's another kind of gift. And then there's the gift that is meant to open our hearts. I just finished watching a documentary from PBS about the life and journey of Henry David Thoreau. And one of his experiences of many was that he went into the woods for 2 years, not to be a hermit, not to disconnect or detach himself from reality, but to experiment, to observe, to be in wonder about all the things happening around him, to get outside of himself so that he could learn something about himself. In other words, he observed the sun, he observed the trees, he observed the animals, he observed the water, he observed the night, he observed the snow, he observed the wind, he observed the heart of the moment in which he sat, because he figured if I sit with it long enough, if I sit in wonder about it long enough, if I look at the different permutations and examples and temperatures and possibilities from day to day and moment to moment, time to time, if I sit and linger with it long enough, I just might learn something about myself in the process. In other words, he figured out that in order for him to learn something more deep about himself, he had to stop thinking about himself. He had to get out. He had to walk to the park. He had to go sit under the sun. He had to sit with the stars. He had to be under the moon. He had to turn off his cell phone. He had to let the social media go. He had to get into some natural, real thing and look at it and be with it just long enough that it just might open some aha moment in his mind, something about himself that he didn't realize before, something that he needed, something that would be good for him, something that might work for him, might bless his life, might give him abundance, might unlock peace and hope and joy. And at the same time, it would tell him what he should get rid of, what he needs less of in his life. What could he do without more of in his life? What could he do less that would make him stronger, make him more graceful, make him more compassionate, make him more loving, make him more giving? What I'm trying to share with you is that he got outside of himself so that he could learn about himself. Thank you, Thoreau. And so what I realize, now that I understand that it really is not about me, it's about all of this and how this, all of this, can feel this if I'm so willing. When I think about this quote from Thestus, what it's leaving for me, and what I hope it might be beginning to leave for you, is that we got to think twice before we accept any gift. I don't care whether it's a car or some socks like my grandmother gave me, or some money that my aunt gave when I turned 10 years old because I would wash her car. Or this very planet itself, this glorious, expansive, abundant, radiant gift that we get to wake up to every morning. We got to be careful before we even accept that. Because receiving the gift, I mean, really, receiving the gift, it means something. It means something. It ought to mean something. If someone were to give me a watch, they're not just giving me a watch. They are giving me a flowering container of story, our story. They are giving me a deep wellspring of air that gives me hope when I can't breathe. If someone gives me a watch, they're not just giving me this trinket. They're giving me some value that they intend for me to understand about myself and perhaps even about them, our very relationship. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, it's elegant. Yes, it's something to behold and to say, that's pretty amazing. But that's the superficial part of acceptance. That's the part that we can do easily with no task, with no energy, with no struggle. We can just, wow, would you look at that? Yeah, that's a level. But there's a deeper one too. And it's the one that says, when I accept this watch, this person is giving me me. They are giving me a piece of myself that I didn't even know was self-evident. I didn't even know that it was there. I needed to be awakened out of my stupor. I needed to be jostled out of my sleep. I'm accepting this watch because it reminds me of a part of myself that perhaps was missing, but has now been restored in my mind, in my consciousness, in my spirit. The fact that Spirit Mystery gave us the earth was a clarion call to be reminded about the fact that we are so much bigger than our thoughts. We are so much bigger than our struggles. We are so much bigger than our loves, because there's a great love staring right back at us. We are so much bigger than even our triumphs. We are the stuff of the stars. We are the product of those stars. We are the beneficiaries of that gift. And every time we accept it, we are giving ourselves the gift of presence, of body, of breath, of life. Don't let anyone tell you that you have to grade yourself according to all these problems happening in the world. No, 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 no. Those shall pass. Those will wither away. Those will not be permanent. What will be permanent is the createdness, the giftedness, the awesomeness, the boldness, the greatness that we all carry inside of us. When someone gives me that watch, they are giving me me. And more specifically, they are giving me an understanding that, wow, there's something about this I need to sit with. There's something about this I need to learn from. There's something about this perhaps I forgot. There's something about this that may actually change my life. When someone gives me that watch, they are putting it on me to take care of it. It's my responsibility to make sure that it winds properly. It's my task to make sure that it's polished perfectly. It's my job to make sure that the scratches are taken care of, the battery is replaced, and by heavens, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I look at my own cell phone to make sure the times match. And if they don't match, I'm going to stop by a jewelry shop window and make sure that I get it done. Or I might even look on social media and make sure that I have the right time. I'm going to make sure that that gift is cared for, that it's nurtured, that it's wound up, and that it's doing everything that it can do, and that I can do everything in response to it to make sure that it lives on. When someone gives me that watch, I will do my darndest. I will do my best to make sure that somehow I will look that fear in the face. Because anytime someone gives me a gift, it comes with fear. The great motivator. Value neutral. Again, it's all about teaching ourselves something. If someone gives me a gift, there's that fear factor. Fear is a motivator at its best. And it motivates me to make sure that no one, no administration, no family member, no government, no moneyed interests does their thing to destroy this gift. That fear that someone will come along and break it. The fear that someone will come along and overly consume it. The fear that someone will come along and tear it up, break it down, so that future generations don't even get a chance to enjoy its extravagance. I'm going to let that fear motivate me to preserve this. And as if that wasn't enough, once we got past the desire to maintain it, and once we did the work to make sure that that fear motivates us to keep it alive, then we come back to that clear and realization about the importance of looking at all the gifts that we receive. My friends, my loves, what I'm trying to encourage you to think about, very simply, is that we got to get smart about what we really mean when we use the word gift and what it means to truly accept that gift. Just like the watch of my heart and the blessing of spirit that fuels me, fuels us. Perhaps it is wise from this moment forward to ask ourselves if we really want to accept a gift that's being offered to us.
How did I know that? So if you want to use this one, it's right there, page 28, or you can read it up there. I love this song.